Ladies and gentlemen, so Donald Trump said something at CPAC that really applies to us today. We're being led by stupid people. Let me explain, shall I? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna play you this video. I want you to realize what he's saying is true. That's the scary part.
That President Putin made his decision to ruthlessly attack Ukraine only after watching the pathetic withdrawal from Afghanistan, where the military was taken out first, our soldiers were killed, and American hostages plus $85 billion worth of the finest equipment anywhere in the world were left behind. The NATO nations, and indeed the world, as he looks over what's happening strategically with no repercussions or threats whatsoever, they're not so smart. They're looking the opposite of smart. Putin is saying, oh, they're going to sanction me. They sanctioned me for the last 25 years. You mean I can take over a whole country and they're going to sanction me? You mean they're not going to blow us to pieces, at least psychologically? The problem is not that Putin is smart, which of course he's smart, but the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. They so far allowed him to get away with this travesty and assault on humanity. That's what it is. This is an assault on humanity. So sad. Putin is playing Biden like a drum, and it's not a pretty thing as somebody that loves our country to watch. Just not a pretty thing to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, so if you're not aware of what just happened today, Vladimir Putin threatened to nuke United States cities. So remember that conversation we were having in my last video about what would you do? And really, honestly, people are saying, I don't think he really would, but honestly, let's just be real about it. The man's in his 70s. He's trying to build a legacy. There's no telling what he would do. And honestly, it's really quite scary. He could nuke a US city, but you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The CDC today came out, a governmental website. It wasn't the CDC, it was a governmental website, right? And they're like, if you do get nuked, remember your mask restrictions. Okay. It was revealed today, MI5 and MI6 in Britain, our strongest allies, right? They want their agents to focus on diversity and equity training. I've been to England. There's 2 Black people there. 2. Or there was. Might be 3 now. Ladies and gentlemen, do you realize how scary this is? I made a video a few months back talking about how silly our nation was. And I do believe I said in that video, we could not survive somebody like Vladimir Putin. We can't survive our country like China. They're not a silly people. You see, they're focused on warfare and being good warriors. And we're focused on equity and diversity. Because God forbid that transgender gets called by the wrong name. God forbid. Oh my God. Don't let that happen. We're a silly nation. Russia, dear United States of America, has just threatened you with nuclear warfare. And our response is, remember your COVID-19 restrictions. If you want more information on that, please go over and watch the Tim Pool Show. That's our response. Russia just took Ukraine. The British Secret Service's response is Fairness and equity. Silly. Just silly. It's ridiculous. You know what? At this point, you know what? I'm just gonna say it out loud and put it out there. If I were Putin, you know what? I shoot holes in your shit too, because you're ridiculous. You're ridiculous people. I spent hours last night arguing with a leftist who on Facebook actually challenged me to a gunfight. It's like I'm a competitive shooter and a combat veteran. You ride a motorcycle. I'm probably not the one you want to challenge that. One of my friends actually said that. It's like, yeah, that's probably not the one you want to have a gunfight with, of all people you could have a gunfight with. But see, that's what they think. They think they're just going to step up and with no training, no nothing at the end, at the moment, just run shit. No, that's not how it works. That's how it works in cartoons. This is real life. If your city gets hit with a nuke, you're screwed. And then there's talk. Oh, let me look at my handy dandy phone here. That Russia hit Ukraine with a vacuum bomb. Do you know what a vacuum bomb does? It sucks up all the oxygen and then turns it into one large blast. It frags people to the bone instantly. But this is what we have. We're a nation of silly people. Nation of silly people. You know, I often talk about the prospect of a peaceful divorce. You guys know me, I go back and forth on it. Should we do a peaceful divorce? Should we not? I mean, we are America, we are Americans, but at heart, I'm a Texan and we're a giant cult. But at heart, I am an American. I say the Pledge of Allegiance, you know, grew up saying it. But now I'm kind of locked in this space where it's like, maybe the left has gone too far left and it's not worth saving. It's not worth saving at all. It's ridiculous. So let me try to talk about this real quick. Give me him on the phone with Randall Goering. Some of you may have recognized the Goering name. Randall.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
So explain the Goering name to me, please.
Unfortunately, I am related to Herman, the Reichsmarshal of the German Army in World War II.
That would be Herman Goering, who is, if I remember correctly, an ace fighter pilot, right?
Yeah, and a heroin addict.
Hey, that happens. That happens. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've done videos with Randall and Vanessa before. Randall is also part Korean.
Yes, I am, on my mother's side, proudly.
I swear Randall's heritage is the funniest thing ever. He's Nazi and a Korean. That's just how that happens. So we were having a Facebook conversation last night, right?
Yes, we were.
And so
we were.
Do you mind telling the audience what happened?
Well, you know, we were talking about the events going on in the Ukraine. That's how it started. I, shared a post that was like, if anybody's wondering why you need a
AR-15 with 30-round magazines?
AR-15 with a 30-round magazine. The answer is on every channel right now because, they're handing out military weapons to every able-bodied Ukrainian that they can right now to beat back the Russians. And
they're handing out AK-47s. The funny part is I had posted that post earlier in the day.
A coworker of mine, or a former coworker of mine and Dan's, chimed in, who was very far left, decided to chime in and, blame Trump, blame all Republicans, blah, 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 all that stuff.
The usual
So,
shit.
you know, we all got into a lengthy conversation about that. It's like, dude, oh, you know, I even commented like, nobody brought up politics. You know, so things were going back and forth and back and forth. He had challenged Dan to a gunfight. You know, he was like, oh, live by the gun, die by the gun, Dan. And I'm like, dude, like
that's what I do. I'm a
For-
competition shooter.
yeah,
That's not what you want to do. That's a bad
exactly. I
move.
was like, for Dan, it would be live by the gun and reload. Have you seen him shoot?
Like I keep telling you, I could teach you to shoot the same way.
So
It's just a trick.
So things got more and more heated, especially between you and him.
I did. You know what? I was telling my dad today, you'll be so proud of this, when I went down to Dime Box, right? I told my dad, like, imagine where we are, that in 2022, a black man can threaten to lynch a white man. I told him it's a lot of trees and a lot of rope in Texas. Don't come down here with that shit. Then he threatened to steal my horse.
It was pretty ridiculous.
He's threatened to steal my horse. It's like, what the fuck? But no, go ahead. Explain what you were saying.
But, you know, to continue on with the story, you know, and he had made comments on other parts of the sub threads on my post, because different people chimed in. So he would chime in on different posts and threads, and it was always, you know, fuck the right, you know, every time it was just fuck the right, you know. And it's like, dude, man, nobody's even talking about that. Like, you know,
yeah, because nobody even brought up Trump or the right.
Like one of them cultists. You sound like a cultist. It's like, hey, how's the weather, pal? Oh, fuck Donald Trump. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Donald Trump made it rain today.
But, you know, and he made a comment about the January 6th people, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm a centrist. I'm more to the left than Dan is, but I'm still a little right leaning. Maybe, and I don't know. Some people might even say I'm a little left leaning, but that's fine. I'm a centrist.
Oh, I lean left on certain things too. So I mean, honestly, I lean left on certain things.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Most people are.
Yeah.
Most people are.
When it comes to homeless programs and stuff, I certainly lean left. Now, when it comes to the Second Amendment, I'm all right.
But what got the ban was not anybody threatening anybody to have a gun battle. It was me taking a centrist approach, and I agreed with him. I'm like, you're right. January 6th, yeah, those people are traitors and insurrectionists, but so are the people that busted into the Senate hearings for Kavanaugh. They're disrupting the democratic process. Hang them all. And next thing you know, blip, that my comment gets taken down, and I am now in a 30-day Facebook ban, which is like my 5th or 6th Facebook ban.
Which was why we started the Free Randall Goering Facebook movement. So if you're watching this on YouTube, put on your Facebook, Free Randall Goering. Because that's such a, and it's like, it's not like it's not a fact. It actually happened.
Yeah, exactly. There's no misinformation. You could disagree with me that the January 6th people were insurrectionists and traitors, or you could disagree with me that the people that busted into the Senate hearings for Brett Kavanaugh's confirmation aren't traitors or insurrectionists, and that's fine. But to me, they're the same. Anybody that's disrupting the democratic process, which both things were, the Senate hearings for Kavanaugh or the confirming that Joe Biden won the election, those are both democratic processes that were disrupted. Fine, I you know, on a broad definition, they're both the same to me.
You know, one of my favorite things is, Randall,
as traitors and insurrectionists. Then
you know, one of my favorite things is, and I know YouTube subscribers, you don't see this, but me, Randall, Peter and Paul are twins. Well, Randall will often bring up a topic, or Peter will bring up a topic, and we just start having these great conversations.
Conversations.
Yeah, and we don't always agree, but they're great
No.
conversations, and I always love them. It's one of
Yeah,
my
me
favorite
too.
things.
Me too. Me too. I love to have a dialogue. I think that's sorely lacking in the world. Unfortunately, I agree with you.
On the whole
that
gunfight
things
thing,
have gotten so bad that we got to have a national divorce.
we have to,
It's
and I
either
think
gonna
it's
be
at that
civil
point.
war or a divorce because nobody wants to dialogue anymore.
Well,
The
certain people
second
don't
you
want to
bring
dialogue.
up a good point, they just go fuck you and leave.
Well, and they want to get mad and then challenge you to violence. And then when you accept, like last night with the person we're talking about, the former coworker, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he's like challenging me to a gunfight, it's like, I'm more than willing to do that. I know you're not faster than me. I know you're not more accurate than me. I'm willing to do that.
And he was all pearl clutching and like,
I'm not going to shoot a fellow American.
You did it first, my dude.
Like, dude, you challenged me. I was minding my business. But I really do honestly think it's that, you know, the country's great when it's a black man challenging or threatening to lynch a white man. I think that's just some great shit. Look how far we've come. But no, it was just insane. And think about that innocuous comment you made. It's because that's a righteous comment. That's true. It's not like you were making it up. And that gets you banned.
And it goes to show that there's idiots on both sides of the extreme, you know?
Oh, it's insane.
That you see that behavior from both the left and the right. So don't vilify one and sanctify another.
For me, it was like, dude, I'm hitting you with facts.
January 6th, they're all terrorists and everything. And I'm like, I live like very close to Seattle. They just like pick over parts. That's not insurrection.
For me, it was like, I'm hitting you with facts, so your reaction is to challenge me to a fucking gunfight? You hold up, you're going to challenge a competition shooter to a gunfight. You don't even own a gun. I would have to lend you one of my guns and then teach you how to use it. It's insane. I think the world's lost its mind. Do you see this thing today about Russia has threatened nuclear war against the United States?
Uh-huh, I sure did.
That is...
Well, yesterday when the news was talking about Belarus getting involved in the conflict, that one was like, oh boy, you know, right now, this is something you and I disagree on in terms of Joe Biden's policy right now as to what's going on. I actually agree with Joe Biden and what he's doing.
Actually, we're not that far apart. Actually, he doesn't have a choice.
Let's do economic sanctions. Yeah, let's send him military equipment, but no boots on the ground. I'm like, dude, that's the right answer for me because right now it's one-on-one. It's
for me, it's the only answer because what are we gonna do? Engage Russia in a fucking war?
Well,
that would be insane. And Putin has nothing to lose.
For me, so long as it's a one-on-one fight, stay out of it as best you can. But if Belarus, if Chechnya, if they start getting involved and now it's a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 fight, then it's like, okay.
Well, I think actually they might need it because
boots on the ground.
From what I'm seeing, the Ukrainians are putting up a hell of a fight. They're not going quietly.
I am so proud of them. Sorry, my baby's getting a little fussy here.
Well, think about it. The president of Ukraine strapped up, Miss Ukraine strapped up, but I guess she's a professional shooter and a combat veteran. I did not know that till today. But they were showing pictures of her all strapped up with a rifle. And people started saying, oh, no, she's not a good shooter. And they went back for years and started showing all of these videos where she's a combat veteran and a competition shooter. And she's good. You know what? If it hadn't been our former coworker and had been her that challenged me to a gunfight, I might have to turn it down. Like, no, I'm good. You stay where you are. But no, I just wanted to clear that up about your Facebook ban. Let's get some momentum rolling towards you. So try to get you off this ban.
Right? Yeah, it was ridiculous, man.
Hashtag free Randall Goring.
I've been Facebook banned for other ridiculous stuff too. I made a similar comment like that one time in looking back and seeing my account status and all that. It still has some of my old posts. What got me banned? Like, oh God, some of them are very ridiculous. I did make a similar comment about, like, I don't care if they're an R, a D, or an I. Like in terms of political parties, like it was like, dude, if you're doing X, Y, and Z, fuck them.
Well,
boom, Facebook ban.
The crazy part to me about your Facebook ban is in that same post thread, right? You say something innocuous like that. Meanwhile, me and another guy are arranging a gunfight.
Are arranging a gunfight. I found it very ironic.
It's like, hold up.
It was like that. This is acceptable to Herr Zuckerberg, but
He's like, yeah, gunfights are cool.
But me taking a moderate approach, saying that far left and far right, they're both traitors and should be hung. Wow. Okay.
Well, and don't forget, I threatened the lynching.
It wasn't even directed at an individual. It was just that broad statement. It was like,
Well, see, that's the crazy part.
Naming anybody. I don't know anybody that went to the damn January 6th.
Me neither.
Riots.
Well, see, that was I actually
went to the Kavanaugh.
Subscribers. I actually threatened to lynch somebody on Facebook, and in that same thread, I didn't get a ban, and Randall did. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, hold up. He said something moderate. I threatened to lynch somebody.
Yeah.
And then somebody actually challenged me to a gunfight. Then I threatened to lynch you. That conversation didn't get taken down. It's still up now.
It's still there.
It's like
people can comment. People can go there right now. My Facebook is public. People that aren't even friends with me can look that up and comment right now.
Hold up. Let me hold up. And that's Randall Goering, Goering.
Yes, and it's Randell because my parents spelled my name weird.
I keep spelling it with an A.
I know. Everybody does.
Yeah. But go look at it. Go look at it. I literally got challenged to a gunfight and threatened to lynch a dude.
Yeah.
And dude threatened to steal my horse.
But, it was in that thread.
That is the craziest thing ever. But I just wanted you to get this out there. We're gonna try to get you out of Facebook jail. Yeah. We'll see if we can get a little traction.
Darn tootin'.
I know.
It's not the first time either. Like I've gotten 30-day bans. Like I'm a repeat offender. Like
Well, no, I'm in constant communication with.
Them are really stupid too.
Well, I'm in constant communication with this lady who works for Ben Shapiro. Black and White Sports, which I tell everybody to go look at. Hopefully they'll have me on soon enough. So I'm in contact with all of them. I don't get very many views, but at least big people are taking a look. Maybe we can get something done for you, because that was the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was retarded. It was retarded. There was another one, dude. I just want to put it out there. I got a 30-day Facebook ban. Now I'm a big fan of that TV show Cobra Kai. That's like my shit. I love it.
Oh, hold up. I remember this one.
And like somebody on the Cobra Kai Facebook page was like, hey, wow, isn't that really progressive of Kreese? He went from calling Mr. Miyagi racial slurs to having Kyler, who's Asian, as a student. And it was tongue-in-cheek. It was a joke. And I chime in. I'm like, hey, give Kreese some time. He'll call Kyler a gook or a slope before too long. Laughy emoji, laughy emoji, laughy emoji. I got tons of laughs.
I remember. I put a laughing emoji on that.
And bam, I got a 30-day Facebook ban for hate speech and racial slurs. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking Asian. Come on. This is ridiculous.
No, you're Asian white supremacist now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Welcome to the club, brother.
So. I guess they saw my name and didn't see my picture, and
Well, that's what happens with me. I've had comments where people are like, "Hey," I had this one lady. She was calling me a white supremacist and a racist, right? And she goes, "I thought you were white till I saw your videos," and I'm like, "Really, really?" I tell this one so many people, so understand people. Randall's a veteran like me. We don't get hung up in a lot of race. Matter of fact, on one of my other Facebook groups, America Under Distress, right?
Well,
The
didn't that happen to like Joyanne Reed one time? She was calling somebody who was a politician or a radio host. I think it was a radio host, a black dude. And she's like, "Well, you don't know because you're white, so you don't." And he's like, lady, I got news for you. I'm a black man."
It's like you should have done your research.
She had to walk that back a little bit and go, "Oh, well, I apologize. I wasn't given the right information because I thought you were, you know."
Well, and that's what happens. I tell this story when they talk about race in the military, right? And me and Randall were both medics, both combat medics. The
Yep, 91 Bravo.
I had a roommate, Redmond, big redneck from West Virginia. And he flew the Confederate flag. I was at the time, I was in the Nation of Islam. So I flew the red, black, and green flag. And our commander came in, he was doing a barracks inspection. And he looks at Redmond's side of the room, walks over to mine, and he calls us over and he goes, "Is there any troubles?" We're like, "Nah." Redmond's like, "Nah, this is my drinking buddy. Like, I fight to the death for him. Yeah. This is my drinking buddy." But it's stuff like that regular people don't get because they live in their own little small little bubbles. I think everybody should join. I think we should do like Israel. Hey, at 18, you go in the military. Man, woman, or whatever, go in the military. We're done with you. Go. And because it opens you up to a whole different world. Like, think about it.
For sure.
If I had never joined the military, we'd have never met.
Yeah.
And we're like brothers. And it's like, even though you do tend to, I've never been banned from Facebook. I just want to throw that out there. Even though if you look at some of my Facebook posts, it's like how is this motherfucker not banned?
Hey man, you can challenge a white man to a gun battle and not get banned. I get Facebook banned every
no, you're like, "Hi," like banned. I'm like, yeah, I'm killing everybody. They're like, right. "Yeah, you're good."
Good to go. Like, holy crap.
Like gunfights for everybody.
You said hi. That's promoting drug use or something. I'm like, oh, what?
Like, that's a little much there, Randall. Like, but Dan is challenging people to. He just threatened to lynch a guy. Like, yeah, we know, but it's Dan. It's really funny. It's really the way that shit went down. This was yesterday, people, and so we want to do message Facebook, message Mark Zuckerberg, put Randall Goering back on Facebook. This is ridiculous. And the way it went down was really, really silly. Because I think by the end of it, me and Ralph knew we were both joking, especially when he's threatening to steal my horse.
Oh yeah, your horse.
Yeah, right.
However he said it.
What was it?
Or typed it.
Yeah, it's like leave my horse alone. But anyway, but we both knew we were joking, so it became kind of funny. But I don't think. But with all that, you shouldn't be able to challenge a man to a gunfight like he did me, or threaten to lynch a man like I did him. It's like, okay, Facebook. I want to call Mark Zuckerberg and be like, "Hey, I probably should be banned." Right? You got banned for saying some sensible shit. It's like nobody should commit crimes on federal property, like banned. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna lynch people." And they're like, "He's good."
Good to go.
The Facebook bans don't make any sense. That really tickled me. It really made me laugh. But so, also.
Well, it didn't make me laugh because that's the only thing I use. I'm 43 years old. I use Facebook.
You need to get rid of
alone. I don't do Twitter. I don't do
no. Get rid of
anything. I don't got time for that shit.
No, get her.
Do Facebook and Facebook only.
Randall, GETTR, get her. It's like Facebook. I use it.
Yeah, I don't know how to post anything on there.
You just put in the description thing.
It's not like you can just like click and type like Facebook.
No, hold up. Yes, it is. Hold up. I click get her. Hold up, it's taking a second to load.
Yeah, I got you on speaker because I want to show you.
Oh no, it's fine. Yeah, please do.
I downloaded it, but I've never used it.
And then you press the little pen thing, and then you just type. It's just like Facebook, only there's no editing.
I don't see no pin thing. I see a house. I see the.
What do you mean a house?
magnifying
Sorry, ladies and
glass.
gentlemen, me and Randall are working this out to getting back up online.
I see the homepage. The.
When you first pull it up, right? Look down in the right-hand corner. There's a little pen plus thing in red.
Oh, okay.
You press that,
Oh,
and then you post.
okay. Man.
And they don't even edit. I mean, they don't, what do you call that?
Censor.
Censor. Yeah, they don't censor you. You know, because God forbid, you know, you're against people breaking into federal property.
Right.
But as long as you're threatening to lynch people, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's
fine.
good.
Facebook allows that.
Oh, I'm telling you, Randall, I was telling my dad, I was laughing about it. My mom.
To get in a gun battle with another American, it's fine, but you know.
I'm not an American, I'm a Texan. So my mom and dad got the biggest kick out of it. I was like, imagine how far we are ahead when in 2022, a black man can threaten to lynch a white man. That's the greatest thing ever. Equity.
That's right.
Like, come on. What did I think I told him what we got a lot of trees and a lot of rope down here there, brother. Come on down. I'm like, I just threatened to lynch a white man. Equity.
But whatever you do, don't be a centrist.
No, don't say something sensible like, hey,
Yeah.
don't destroy federal property.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You'll get kicked off of Facebook.
Oh my God, man. No wonder we got so much extremism in this country.
That's too funny. I'm sorry, brother. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. All right, brother, I'm gonna get off this phone.
All right, man. You
Hold
have a
on.
good night.
Is V around?
No, she's actually out with Peter. She went to go get.
Oh,
she,
okay.
She bought something on Marketplace. I was meeting.
You remember how I closed out my shows, right?
Mhm.
All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Like, subscribe, share. And as always, especially in these days and times, keep your powder dry and do what you got to do.
That's it.
All right, brother. I hope to have another one of these conversations, not with you getting banned over. I'm sorry. I'm still laughing. Hey, don't destroy federal property. You're banned. You're off Facebook.
Right?
Hey, I'm going to fucking lynch you. It's like, oh, you're good.
You're good.
Like, hey, let's have a gunfight. Like, you're good. Don't worry about it. Like, hey, let's not burn down federal courthouses. Like, yeah, you're out of here.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Hold up. So everybody understand. Randall is part Asian. His last band before this was for anti-Asian content. It's like, really?
Yeah.
Really? This is what we're doing. Okay. This shit has gotten ridiculous. But I just wanted to talk to you. I hope to have you on again soon. Give me a call, of course, anytime. And we got our emergency plans in place in case Putin does invade the United States.
Well, yeah, when them nukes drop.
I need you
Oh, Lord.
to take that shit seriously. Like I said, I'll meet you halfway.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Be safe.
Yep. Later.
Yep.